Okay, I think we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Let's just check YouTube. And we're live on YouTube as well. Okay, so I've set up a few things. We've got 3 main goals for this particular session, I think. One is a concerted effort to build, to find the caves. Oh, we need to find the caves so bad. The second one is to get a whole load of stone hauled. And then the third one is to sort out some dwarf happiness. We've got some dwarves that are heading in the unhappy direction and we can do things for them. So we will look a little bit at that. So first of all, yes, we'll just allow people to get on. Meanwhile, so I've sorted this by unhappiness. And Goda is the most unhappy. And the things that we can do something about quite easily. She wants to practice a martial art. And she's... let's see. Wants to practice a craft. What we can do, we can take her off animal training, plant gathering, milling, butchery, and then that leaves her with gem cutting, stone crafting. We'll take her off most of the hauling actions and cleaning. Yep, so we'll leave her on levers though. The more people doing levers the better. And who's this with no hauling duties? Ah, it's one of our children that have grown up. Okay, yeah, you can do all the things. Now, having a look at some of the others. Let's see, so 15.3 was where she was. Martial arts and crafts. Yes, so, well, we can do something about martial arts. What we'll do is we'll set up a military. I want to create a new squad, but I don't want to do someone from my militia commander. I don't want to set up my militia... well, maybe we do actually. Give my militia commander... no, I've got him digging. So, to set up a new squad without using the militia commander, we go to militia captain. And we'll select, well, it's maybe not Goda. Let's have a look at some of our other unhappy people. Yep, so Akirsto, you want to practice a martial art. Let's make you the military captain. Just find you. Akirsto, there you are. And so now if we go to the military screen, we've got militia captain available, so we can create a squad there. I'm going to say no uniform. The women of trade, led by Akirsto. And then we're going to add, well, we've got a human hammerman that we haven't added to one of our squads. I didn't notice that. We'll fix that in a second. Right. Goster, was it? Goda. Probably faster going upwards, actually. Goda. There you are. So you can also join this squad. Now, if we read this, Russia, you're already in a squad. Ganula, what about you? Yes, you want to join a squad. We'll do it from here now. Gacosta, Yep, we'll put you in the squad. Gertie. It's not really bothering you. It's not bothering Florimonde. Deirdre's fine. Okay, Fiona wants to be in a squad. Emerald. Yep. A bear? You are a planter. Yes, so we'll put you in a squad. Alan? Yep. Babom? Yep. Beatrice. Yep. Okay, so there is a bunch of people who are all in need of some military training. There they all are. So what we can do now is, if we go to the squad screen, to the schedule screen, and we want them to train just 5 of them. So we've got that set up for the archers already. We'll just go over to the women of trade, and we'll paste that schedule down so that the 5 of them at any one time will go and train. And now if we go to the squad screen, we'll go C, and we'll say that you are now active and training. We'll go to the barracks, which is this one. Yes. And we'll say women of trade, you can train here. So they'll come down, they'll learn some wrestling, they'll learn some dodging, and it'll be good skills for them. Yeah, that's our army practicing. So we've got a... Hello, Fifi. Welcome to the stream. So that's our first thing. We've got a little bit of something that's going to help cheer up some of the dwarves that are less happy. There we go. So Goda, who's our one person who's least happy, she only needs to learn 1 skill, and that will really add to her happiness. So we'll keep an eye on how that affects us. She's started to do some learning. She's a scholar, so that's helping matters. We've stopped her from hauling bodies and stuff that involves going out in the rain. So things that were upsetting her are no longer upsetting her. So what we need to do now is to sort out some of those frustrations. And if this doesn't work, then we will assemble a bunch of people to go off and conquer a new land, and she'll probably lead them. Okay, so that was that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to get an awful lot of this stone hauled. I particularly want to get stone hauled out of the trench. I figure that that's probably not what they're going to do, because they have a habit of... Oh no, we've got a lot of people hauling stone out of the trench. Because it's becoming problematic. We're seeing... Let's go from the top downwards. Yeah, we're seeing people going out and getting stone in at unfortunate times, and if we can just make a big sweep of stone hauling, then that will be less of a problem, because it's only going to get more dangerous, not less dangerous, as time goes on.
Sorry,
So
sir, I can't do it.
tasks around the fort, let's have a look at where we're up to. So if we start at the top, the ceiling is built, so this is now a fully securable room. Oh, we've got a petition. Entertainers, no, we only take entertainers when we're in lockdown. Let's have a look at these farms. We're out of winter melon vines. we could get them planting some lettuce, at least for this season. Here, let's get them planting prickleberries. Here, some more prickleberries. As they brew this stuff up, we'll get some more seeds. So looking down a level, I've given them some tasks to throw all of this, well, not all of the rubbish, some of the rubbish. Now, I thought I'd told them not to put hooves in this stockpile. I best check that. So, refuse. Yeah, you're not supposed to be putting hooves there, so it might be that it was actually the equivalent, whoops, of a foot that's been cut off. I don't think it counts as a hoof that we can do crafting with. But all of this other stuff that's here, yeah, someone's going to come down and they'll slowly empty the refuse stockpile. Let's see. So all of this area, I've made just sort of all of the corridors, I've turned them all into stone stockpiles. It's not, I'd like to get rid of the flashing bit on the stairs though. So piles, X. Yeah, not on the stair. That's better. I've also unforbidden the bit of stone that they have thrown into the corpse stockpile. And yeah, let's stop that stair from flashing. But yeah, all of these, they're just all little stone stockpiles and they are all over the place. So yeah, the dwarves are out in the trench dragging a load of stuff in. It's a dangerous task, but the sooner we can get it done, the better. To say, it's only going to get more dangerous, not less. I'm not doing any more engraving at the moment, or smoothing works. We'll just leave them to it. What we have done is dug out some areas here. We're going to turn this... Okay. We're going to turn that area into rooms for rent for the tavern. Now, that baby I want to add to the indoors area. I haven't been through this for a while. Let's just make sure that it's only children that are restricted to working within the indoors area. Hello, Mikuel. Is stone hauling quicker if you make wheelbarrows? Yes, it is. Well, sort of. There's a caveat on that. If you have wheelbarrows assigned to your stockpile, then the only people with a wheelbarrow will go and haul the stone. So it's much faster to move the stone, but if there is a wheelbarrow associated with that stockpile, then only one person will use the wheelbarrow and everybody else will ignore it. So I've got my large permanent stone stockpiles have got something like 10 wheelbarrows. All of the wheelbarrows are sort of allocated elsewhere. Because I don't want to build a huge number of wheelbarrows and I want sort of everybody who's not doing anything going out and hauling stone, I've left these stockpiles because they'll mostly clean the inside of the fort first, or there'll be a lot of hauling inside. So yeah, we'll leave it be for the moment. And the wheelbarrows actually take up a space in the stockpile as well. Let's see, that's a child. A couple more children there. Yep, we've only got babies and children within the indoor burrow. Right, where were we? We were a couple of layers up, I think. Let's just head up and go back down again. So this is the farms, the indoor farms. Everything I think is ticking along nicely here. Let's just have a... I'm going to take fruit off because they keep on trying to do it and then cancelling it, and we're not collecting fruit from the trees anymore. We don't need to, and it's just sending people outdoors into the sun, which they don't like. But let's have a look. 200 to 300 drinks. Well, we could probably increase that a little bit more now. But one thing that gives us more seeds. So we could say 300 to 500. And here, how many meals are we making? Yeah, we should probably increase the range on that as well. So we now have... Hang on, doing sums. 97 and 3 is 100, so that's 106, that's 108. So 109 people, so we'll call it 110. So if we say 110 to 220 in stock at any one time. And while I'm thinking about it, I just want to make sure that in the kitchen, let's just see what we are and are not cooking. So I don't mind them cooking up the things that we could actually be brewing and making seeds out of. They're not cooking the seeds that they do have. I am allowing them to cook the beer into drinks because we can make lots and lots of, well, alcohol into drinks. We can make lots of alcohol, so that's not an issue. And if they have a preference for consuming, say, dwarven wine, if a dwarf is not, is frustrated by the lack of decent meals, and one of the things that they like to consume is dwarven wine, if you make a meal that includes dwarven wine and they eat it, then that will satisfy them. But if they just drink the dwarven wine, it doesn't. They have to have it cooked into a meal. Right, now, this is the thing I really wanted to look at, and I want to make sure that we're not cooking up the tallow. For one thing, it's not a particularly nice thing. It's a low value food. We don't want to be making lavish meals out of nasty tallow. So let's say, yeah, don't be cooking up the cat tallow, and don't be cooking up the goat tallow. Unfortunately, there isn't a way to just say all tallow. It's just every time we create new types of tallow, we have to ban it from being cooked. So we have, now we do have another tortoise in a cage somewhere. Don't know where. It's around somewhere, and for some reason they're not hauling it in here. I did check the settings. It does include giant tortoises. The door is passable. I wonder whether it's because it's not pet passable. It shouldn't do. That shouldn't affect it, but sometimes it gets a little bit weird about whether or not it'll allow someone to take an animal through a door that's not pet passable. Oh, we'll have a look at that mandate in a second. Let's see what you're doing. Processing plants. Yes, that's working. I've just said just process them. And what that's doing is turning pigtails into thread. Right, what's the mayor want? Make millstones. Okay. We'll get there. This is the temporary dining room. Another hillocks joined our holdings. Temporary dining room. Bizarrely, they like it, even though it's just a hole dug in the side of the cliff. At some point, we'll do something about that, but it's not my focus at the moment. Food stockpile, stone stockpile. Going down a couple of levels. Now here we are building some jail cells, and that's so that we can make sure that if excuse me, if we don't fulfill a mandate, which is more likely than not will be because we've exported something we shouldn't have, that we've got jail cells to lock people in rather than have them beaten up. Now, at the moment, I don't have anyone set to justice. That's going to upset somebody at some point. But let's have a look and see what we've got in way of furniture. Oh, we've got some really nice tables. Good. We'll put some tables in. So one way to help with making sure that if dwarves get locked up, they're not upset too much by it, is to make sure that they've got really fancy furniture and really fancy chains. Let's see, we want the tables on this side in this corner. So I'm going for ones that are either 3-stripe, which is excellent, or furniture or Masterworks. They really, really like being chained up near Masterworks stuff. So it gives them something to do while they're chained up. They can admire the furniture. So whichever of our masons did the last batch of tables did a cracking job. Now, while we're looking, what about chairs? Have we got any decent chairs? We've got one. We'll put the other chairs down in the inn to encourage them to build some more. And statues? How are we looking on statues? We've got some nice ones. Get a statue over here. Okay, so we've got 2 nice statues. Right, they will get put in place eventually, or soon enough. Bedrooms. I think I've told them that all of the bedrooms... Yeah, so all of the bedrooms have been allocated as bedrooms. That's fine. So who's this sleeping on the floor? He's just a visitor. I think he might be one of our mercenaries. Okay, stockpile land. Everything's fine here. Now, we did have them making soap. So, making ash. They've finished the ash. They finished the lye. They've actually made as much soap as I'd asked them to, so that's good. I did make a quern here. We're not using it at the moment. I think that's it for this floor. Oh look, they've put some soap next to the well. That's good. We should have some soap, yes, inside the coffer. So there's no soap in the hospital. And that's good. Going down a little further, the tavern's looking quite nice. We've got beer down here. Cats will be keeping down any vermin there. Yeah, let's put the extra chairs down here. Now with the tavern, one thing that you want is a reasonable, large, uninterrupted space, because that will allow large-scale performances to take place, which will please the dwarves. While we're on this floor, I've put some extra levers into the trap system. Now, my trap system is how I make this fort last a long time. What we have is the only way in and out of the fortress, apart from the trench, the only way to get in and out to the outside world is through a network of tunnels that lead quite a long distance to the outside world. And at each open entrance we have some guard animals. I usually use dogs because they can run away quite fast if they spot something that we don't really want them to be eaten by. But they protect us against things like werebeasts. And in this case, the reason why this one has got dead things in it is because we captured an Etin, a 2-headed monster, and we've got him trapped with it between some gates. Hello, Tofu. Are the things you do want to be eaten by? That's a good point. Now, at the moment, I've only got this one entrance open to the outside world. And that's because digging to the surface it's a little bit tricky. We can tell the dwarves to dig upwards, but as long as they've got a way out of the fort, they will walk on the surface and dig downwards. It's just one of those things that Etin is going to be bored. You should leave a puzzle box in there, otherwise it's cruel. Don't worry, I'll give it some goblins to play with at some point. Like that, the last invasion of humans that we got was just too small to be wasting an Etin on. I'd like to keep it there until we've got something where between some of our doors, if we capture just too many and they're a bit difficult to split up into smaller groups, so I don't really want to put our soldiers at risk, then I'll let the Etin in there to go and knock a few of them out before it gets killed. But we can get, I think these are the last two gates that need levers connecting. And we've got the levers in, so this one, yep, we'll attach that to that bridge. And that's going to be called, it is mid, and this is north-northwest. 1. And then the next one here, we'll connect that to a bridge. Yes, and that's that one. Do you know, I'm going to save that fancy mechanism just in case just in case we want to use it for something that where a fancy mechanism would add to it. That's a masterwork. So this is going to be the far bridge on the north-northwest. Panel? Passage? Panel. Exit. So down here we've got one passage that connects the northwest and the north passages. This is where we would allow an enemy that's coming here, we'd expose them to the Etin there and we'd just cut off the entrance to both and we'll let them fight it out. I like to get goblins down one tunnel and elves down another and just let them create their own loot. And then we've got another one ready to go here. Now, I'm aware I seem to have lost game sounds. Just 1 second. Can everybody else hear game sounds? I think my headphones might have just run out of battery. Oh yeah, I've just switched them back on and they're beeping. Alright, just give me one second while I just swap over the batteries. Oops, right, that's better. Thank you for letting me know it was, that the sounds are okay on stream. Wow, it's suddenly gone very loud now I've put some new batteries in the headphones. It's one of those things that when it tells you that you need new batteries, it's too late. Okay, no, we don't need any more entertainers at the moment. That's sparring. Oh, there was some... Who was the tortoise fighting before? That would be good to know. There's a tortoise on the surface. So over here somewhere. Don't see anything, but it could be that there's... let's have a look at the units. What wild animals do we have? Just a bunch of tortoises. Yeah, not sure. Maybe they were fighting each other. So back to where we were. We were here. Right, let's pop down a level. So, right, workshop land. We need to make millstones. I think we make those at the mason. See, you're making thrones and tables. You're not doing anything. Yep, millstone is M. Let's make it out of one of the random blocks that we just got a few bits of. Maybe orthoclase. Actually, rutile is magma proof, so I think I'll save that. I don't think orthoclase is, but it is a nice yellow block. But we've got lots of nice yellow blocks. Yeah, let's make orthoclase millstone. Another rock millstone out of orthoclase. Can I fit another? Yes, I can. Out of orthoclase. Alright, and that'll keep the mayor happy. Something else we could do which would help both with dwarf happiness, increasing the base and using up stone and stuff, is if we build another jeweler's workshop. Let's see, so it would go here. Make it out of shale blocks. And we can tell that workshop to make gems out of rocks. We can sell, they're no good for anything, but we can sell them. Actually, we can even encrust stuff with it just to increase the value. Okay, going down another level. That's my main stone stockpile with all of the wheelbarrows there, but as you can see, it's full. Right, now we head down into the search for the caves. And we've just dug a whole load of exploratory passages to try and find the cave system. Oh, where are we? Ah, that's dwarfs. Oh, good. We've got stuff to sell for you. And hopefully, yes, the caravans can make it in this time. Right, let's put a hold on everything else. Let's get the trade goods moved. I'm tempted to sell some of the meat that's in barrels we've made ourselves, because that will be meat that we have lots of, like cats and things. So because we're going to end up stockpiling so much food. We'll keep the nicer barrels though. Fish. Oh, I need to make a fishery. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. Could get rid of that blue peahen eggs. We'll bring it down. Plants, want to keep those. Keep the seeds. We'll keep the drinks. Right, weapons. I want to sell all of the crossbows that are not steel. These are things that we've taken off the humans when they attacked last. Yeah, so those... ammo, I don't think we've got any arrows we need to sell. Leather, cloth, cloth, cloth. Wooden, stone, bars. Let's bring all of the cut gems down. And all of the large cut gems. Alright. Now, time to sort through all of the worn out clothes. There shouldn't be so many. Not as many as last time because we have had a trader. I think did the elves come 6 months ago? I know last time we got a trader there was just so much stuff that we needed to sell off because we'd gone a whole year or more without having any traders. Okay. Tempted to sell off some of the things like the breastplates and stuff that are, because we're making steel stuff, so we don't want our people wearing them. We've got more ore than we have fuel, so I don't want to be melting it down. I'm going to keep the large stuff though, because if we get a human that joins as a mercenary, we haven't got armor for them. So I'll keep the large stuff and then we can dedicate that especially for humans. Like that large copper mail shirt will be good for a human. That's large, yeah. Okay, that's fine. It looks like most of the stuff. We might have a couple of goblin things, but I think most of the stuff, most of the armor that we don't want to, that our dwarves can't wear, humans can wear. That iron cap can go. As can the business bronze helm. And that bronze helm. Just makes more space in the armor stockpile and gives us more stuff to sell. Oh yeah, we got a glove. Someone made a glove. I'll put that on display, I think. Upper gauntlets. We don't want our people using that. We've got steel. Even iron gauntlets. Keep the large stuff. Sell the worn out stuff. Grey Squirrel Man leather. Fabulous. Get rid of the copper boots. I'm not worried if I miss something here or there. Every time we go through, we'll just thin out the stuff that we don't want. We've got plenty of socks for the humans. Gone through a lot of trousers. Hey, and that's cleared out the armor stockpile and the clothing stockpile. Shields, I want them using leather shields. They're just so much lighter than the metal shields and they are no less effective. Yep, just got leather shields in stock. Oh, we could sell that goblin. I wonder how much the goblin will fetch. It's not like we can do anything with it. Crafts, yeah, anything that's not already being brought down you can bring down. Just need to keep an eye on the mare. I think this mare doesn't like us selling scepters. The Addams Brothers Tell It True. The new release should be there before the end of the week. I'm so excited. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Alfie, who says you obviously haven't read 101 Uses for a Goblin. Don't think there's anything else we want to sell. Yeah, and there's a good value there. So that will do. Right, people will stop all of their stone hauling and get moving all of that stuff down there. Yeah, let's just have a look at who's the mayor. Dzuma. So what we can do is go and have a look at Dzuma. We can do this through the Dwarf Fortress screen. It's just a little bit prettier here. Dzuma. Let's search. Organise this alphabetically. There you are. Right, what do you like? You like talc, electrum, shell opal. So this is right at the bottom there. Shell opal, cotton fabric, linen paper, naked mole dogs, spears, quivers, millstones, scepters, ballista parts. Right, so we best not sell any scepters. That's the only thing that we've actually taken down that we might have sold. Okie dokie. Alfie, I need you to know that I googled 101 uses for a goblin, hoping it'd be a Dwarf Fortress thing, and ended up with a furry website. My eyes! Some things once learned can never be unlearned. What's that? That's... Oh... In bringing the goblin crossbowman down, did we let it out of its cage? I guess so. Yeah, we did. Ah. I didn't think it worked like that, I have to admit. Squads. Fighters. Come and kill that goblin. Do it before... Right, there we go. Sorted. Are you injured? Beatrice, you are a soldier, so you should have been okay. Oh no, you did take some injuries. Well, hopefully someone will get you to hospital soon enough. But let's get... that goblin shifted. I suppose... Yeah, no, we'll just get the goblin shifted for the moment. somebody's rescued Beatrice. Okay, the hauling continues. Wow, that is quite a big set of... There's quite a big merchant train. So yeah, I am so excited about the update. I think that's sparring. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's any day now. Any day now. Every time I turn on Dwarf Fortress, I just check and see if it's the latest update yet. I'll be sad to lose this fort because I'm learning a lot from this fort. And I've got such big plans for it. I don't know if we'll actually get to finish. I don't even know if we'll find the caves at this rate. But yeah, it's but I'm just so excited about the new update. I think the day the update comes out, I might not stream it the day it comes out. I will... Well, one thing I'll be keeping my eye open for is... I particularly like watching a guy called Nucrium stream. So if you're looking for somebody else who streams Dwarf Fortress, Nucrium is a great guy. And I know he will be streaming on the day that it comes out, so I'll be looking for his stream going live and I'll be there in chat. Alright, let's see. Liaison from the Mountain Toast is here. Oh, Dwarf Comic, welcome to the stream. Finish this fort. There will be a few weeks of updates, I'm sure, on the new release. Yeah, it's bound to be a little bit crashy. There'll be a few, I think Toady One described it as fires to put out. Bound to be. Things like DF Hack, Dwarf Therapist, the third-party tools probably won't be working straight away. Ew. Okay, right, this is an important time. We are being offered a barony. Now it's really important who we choose as a baron. We could put it off because barons are so awkward. But I kind of like it. So, right, what I like to do is choose someone who's happy for a baron. And then have a look at their preferences. And I want to make sure that the things that they like, because they're going to give us mandates associated with things that they'll ban us from selling things and they'll make us make things. So I like to make sure that they don't have a preference for something that we have a problem with keeping. Weapons are really good. If they've got a particular like for weapons, then we can flood the fortress with weapons and stick them all in weapon traps. Now, Della doesn't have any preferences for anything that is made, so she's actually a safe bet. What about Anna? splints. Yeah, we don't want to end up making 30, 40, 50 splints. Potatoette. Another one with no preferences for something that can be made. Alice? Yeah, now this is someone who we certainly wouldn't want as a baron because she likes bracelets. So where I'm looking is within the paragraphs on the right hand side of that pop-up box, right down the very bottom where it says preferences. So she likes native platinum, iron, black pyrope, hairs, coffins, bracelets. That means that she could well ban us from selling. She might make us make hundreds of bracelets and then ban us from selling it. So we have a high likelihood of somebody ending up in prison. Alex. Shields. Shields are not a good one because we probably do want to sell shields. Alfie. Chain leggings and picks. No. Dusho. No. Earrings. Definitely not. Emily. Earrings. Definitely not. Dinko. Bucklers. Quivers. No. That's... And actually things that are made out of leather, that you can only make out of leather like quivers, are a problem. Because if you run out of leather, you might not be able to meet the demands of a mandate, and then people go to prison. More quivers. Bernie. Helms. No, we don't want armour. Armour is a particularly bad thing to want, or for your nobles to want. Bucklers, quivers. No. Ella. Nothing. Oh, tables. Oh no, she's got greaves. We don't want greaves. We want to be able to sell any greaves that come off the enemy. Crossbows. No, we don't want to be banned from selling crossbows. Quivers. Shields. Beds. Beds, flasks. It's not a huge problem. I think I prefer someone who is just neutral though. Short swords. Now that's not a bad one. So who's this? Furter. So Furter likes anhydrite. I think we actually have that. Layputer, tanzanite, badgermen. Short swords, the colour mauve, taupe, and the sound of the fabulous queen. Refers to consume soul, papaya wine, finger millet flour, and caper bush bud. Hates leeches. So Furter would be a good choice. There is something that he likes that... so we would get mandates to make short swords. We can make tons of short swords, that's not a problem. And then we can just put them in weapon traps. We'll never want to sell short swords. We'd always want to put them in weapon traps. So I think we'll go for Furter. So yes, I can scarcely believe this good news. I have some recommendations. And we are going to say Furter. Can't roll, unfortunately. But it is in alphabetical order, so probably best going from the bottom up. Actually, it's not alphabetical, it's the order in which they arrived. Furter. There you are. Mark's Dwarf Furter. That's who I recommend. Much to share. Right, what requests do we have? I would... once again, like you to bring me pigtail cloth, and I would like you to bring me cave spider silk. I would also pay a bit extra for some drinks. I noticed that there was one of the drinks that we were low on. Right, wine is what we make ourselves. I pay a little extra for ale, beer and rum. What pets can you bring? I don't think it's anything really interesting. Nah, we don't need any pets from them. Okay, yeah, happy with that. Don't really need to look over the documents, I know what I said. Okay, what do they want? Armour, cloth, bracelets, legwear, goblets, amulets, handwear, pearl ash, meat and quivers. Okay, well we've got a good bit going down that fall into those categories, so we should have quite a high value of stuff to sell there. And it looks like the dwarves have finished hauling, so let's get Alex down there. Alex is busy sleeping. Well, we'll see if Alex makes his way down there pretty sharpish, otherwise we'll confine him to the burrow. Actually, it's her to the burrow. Yeah, we've got cats adopting people. I need to get back on top of the cat population. Oh, right, yeah, Bone and Black reminded me about this. So what we can do is go to the animals tab. So we'll add the tab of animals. And this tells us the age of the animal. So we can make sure that the animal is of an age where we will get the best out of it. Yeah, and it tells us which ones are adopted. So like an 11-year-old cat, we will get the most meat and the most leather out of it. So that's a good one to butcher. So yep, we'll put you up for butchering. 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 2-year-old. I can't remember what age they actually reach maturity. These are all 2. We can have a look in the wiki and see, but I think we'll take those 3 out for the moment. While we're here, let's have a look at the boars. See if we've got any old boars. We've got some that are 3 years old. Yeah, let's butcher that 3-year-old pig. And that one. Okay. Alright, Alex, have you finished sleeping? No, you're still sleeping. I finished this fort. It's tempting, but I kind of want to get into the new update as soon as possible so that I can start experiencing the new mechanics and understanding how to work them. Because it'll take a little while before I understand the pitfalls and have experience all of the things that may happen. And I just don't know if I can resist. But yeah, it's going to be crashy. The tile sets might not work straight away. There'll probably be a tile set that works within a day or 2. I imagine that... Because I don't mind playing it in ASCII, but I know it's not a very... doesn't make for good watching, especially for people who are not sort of hardcore into Dwarf Fortress. You're drinking. Right, let's let's move Alex and say, no, you now can only go to the... You can only do things that are within that burrow. Oh, and if you were one of the people who were watching the stream from the day before yesterday where George was running around half naked, George has put a dress on, finally. Come on, Alex, get to the depot. Are you coming yet? Right, let's try switching that off and on again. Trader requested. Still no job. Come on, Alex, you know you have a job. Alex is trying to do anything but go to the trade depot. Let's try switching that back off again. We'll try calling her again. Now if we get... This looks like it's not... Yeah, it's not seeing Alex. I think what I'll just try is saving and reloading. Sometimes it just gets a little bit funny. Let's switch off Dwarf Therapist before it has a problem. Alright, so now we'll just load it back up again. So you notice there I've played, I've got 7 live worlds going. I'm currently playing on a gaming laptop because my PC is being diagnosed for bad crashes. I bought this laptop in December. That's 7 fortresses since December, or 7 worlds since December. Okay.
No way.
Alex, are you coming? I'll just try switching it off and on again.
No. I said no.
And if it doesn't work this time, then I'll try taking Alex off being a trader and we'll try reallocating her as the trader. Okay, Alex still isn't heading. Right, let's go to the noble screen and broker. So we'll say you are not the... Actually... Well, Dazuma isn't any good at appraising. These people get good prices for things, but they don't have good appraisal skills. But yeah, we'll say, right, the broker is now Dazuma. And now we'll switch it back and say the broker is Alex. Alex, are you making your way down? Let's find out where Alex is. Make sure she's not trapped somewhere. Oh no, she's there. I wonder whether she was mid-drink and me allocating her to the trade depot has got her stuck mid-drink. We'll say, alright, you're free from that restriction. But Alex doesn't actually have any hauling switched on. So she shouldn't be moving things to stockpiles. Yeah, all of Alex's hauling is switched off. I'm going to say no bone carving. No digging. You have no job. Storing item in stockpile. You're not allowed to store things in stockpiles, Alex. What are you doing? Right, let's try adding her back to the burrow again. Trade Depot C. There we go. I think you were on the second page. There he is. Right, Alex. You've got one job. There's only one thing you're allowed to do. And that's come here. Okay, I'm going to say anyone may trade in case somehow or other she doesn't recognise herself as being the broker. Okay, somebody is there. Let's see. Somebody who can appraise. So I think that's Alex who's here. Because we can see the price of things and there's only Alex who knows the value of things. So that's worked. I shall remember that next time we get problems. So it appears that in this particular case, Alex didn't seem to know that she was a broker. Hello, Bone and Black. So if you get problems where your broker just will not go to the trade depot, and it doesn't happen often, but once in a while, then if you confine your broker to only working in a borough that only includes the trade depot, and then you say any trader, anybody can trade, then that seems to work. It certainly worked this time. Right, I'm going to start off by saying we will sell everything, but we're going to have to take a few things out. We're not going to sell that cage. That was the cage that had the goblin in it. The clothes are all fine. I need to take out all of the scepters. I would like my bin back. We'll sell all of the gems out of it. It's a little bit fiddly, but it does save us on wood. Every time we do this, we just save an extra log, which is a piece of charcoal, which is a third of a piece of steel. If we find coal somewhere while we're digging around the place, then that makes a big difference, because then wood becomes a relatively low value commodity. At the moment, wood is too valuable to sell, or too valuable to be using on things like bins, which I can just buy. So right, this is where I need to be a little bit careful. Because although there's no mandate banning us from selling scepters at the moment, there is every possibility that before the traders leave the map, we could well have a ban on scepters. And then whoever it was who brought the scepters down will end up in prison. Okay, we don't want to sell that one. Thankfully, they do tend to group a little. Figurines are okay. Earrings are okay. Amulets are okay. All of the toys are fine. Crowns are okay. But not the scepters. Not until we get a new mare. Hang on. Have I accidentally included any other scepters there? I don't think so. But let's just do a quick search, which is W. Search for scepters. Alright, yes, so none of the scepters are being sold. Capital W to clear the search. Right, I'm happy with all of the things that we're looking to trade. 28,000 gives us a good amount. Now, again, I'm quite keen on bringing in random bars, but not the ones that we can easily make ourselves. So we'll bring in bismuth, nickel, billion, brass. Steel we can make. Okay, yeah, we'll have those. Don't need any gems, don't need any blocks, don't need any glass. Okay, how are we doing for fancy ropes? What have you got? That pigtail rope looks nice. As does that pigtail rope, even though it's not reflected in the price. We'll go for that alpaca wool rope. Other ropes there that really attract my attention. There's some good ropes with decoration, but the decoration isn't especially good. I don't need water skins or flasks. Don't need any of your instruments or toys. Probably don't want anything that the dwarves can bring in a cage. It's not like they're going to be bringing leopards for us. Okay, but I will buy any barrels of things. In fact, any cheap barrels we'll buy as well. Any barrel of alcohol that isn't wine. We'll get some dwarven syrup and make our own rum. That's a very expensive barrel. I don't think we'll buy it. It's some of the cheap ones though. Ale is good. At the moment, I don't think there's anything that you can do with venom, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. Buckets, we don't need buckets. Tempted to buy a really fancy one though. Don't need any more picks, we don't need any of their weapons. Right, I'm going to scoot straight down to the cloth. Excuse me. Here we go. Oh, now I did set up another clothier and I don't think I put them to work. Not going to buy the giant cave spider stuff out of this bin because that's quite a lot of cash to spend. I will buy all of your leather and all of your normal cave spider silk cloth though. No, you're not so bad. There's only a little bit of giant cave spider silk in that one. Yeah, they didn't actually bring that much. Right, don't need to buy bolts. Don't need any of the large gems. Don't need any anvils. Let's get in some extra meat for variety. Somebody somewhere will particularly like rhinoceros or dingo. And all of this comes with barrels. So there's a little bit of extra variety that'll keep some people happy. In fact, what we can do, if we have a look at someone like Goda. What do you like to eat, Goda? Prefers to consume crow barley wine. Crow. Okay. I wonder if they have any crow. Crow, not cross. Unfortunately not. Okay. So... Right, let's go from the bottom up. So we can't buy anything particularly for to keep Goda happy. Students' economics. Let's buy a book. Add the book to the bookcase. And On the Moving World. That sounds like a good book. Maybe a couple of codexes. A couple of the cheaper ones. Don't want crutches or splints. Let's get some random cheeses in. Kangaroo cheese, yeah. Reindeer cheese. Sounds nice. I don't need trap components or quivers. Backpacks. It would save us from using our leather to make them ourselves. They don't seem to be affected by quality. They don't seem to notice if they have a particularly good quality or poor quality backpack. So we'll buy some of the cheaper ones. Right, trousers. I'm all for buying their trousers. Okay, we haven't bought anything extortionately expensive. They are extortionately expensive. Never mind, we'll buy them anyway. Somebody's going to get some really, really nice trousers. And we'll buy a load of thread and we can turn that into cloth. They didn't bring much cloth with them, but they've brought an awful lot of thread. Hey, I did notice somebody liked quarry bush leaves. So we'll buy a few vegetables. That's going to give us more seeds. Monsieur, your pantaloons are très exquisite. Indeed, you can imagine it, can't you? Ooh, muskmelons. I don't think we've seen those before. Right, we don't need any more plump helmets. Got plenty of those. Alright, let's buy a ton more weird meats for them then. Not pig, we will be making our own pig meat. I think we've got... Are we? We might be keeping yaks? I can't remember. Alright, so let's see if they've got any gloves or other clothes. Worth us buying some extra bags. Not that expensive though. Yeah, it just helps keep the seeds in check. Get some wheat flour, I suppose. It's awfully expensive when you think about how much we could... it'd be easy enough for us to grow our own cave wheat. Well, it's probably the value of the bag, actually. I think we've got a few cave wheat seeds in stock. We could buy some of these chests. That one's a little bit fancy. Pigtail seeds, always glad to get more pigtail seeds. Yeah, because we can start making our own gypsum plaster as soon as we've got some spare bags. Ooh, yeah, that's a bit expensive. Right, how are we doing? Yeah, we can spend a bit more. Let's go have a look at gloves and hats. Right, gloves. Giant snail leather gloves. Right, nothing there that we want. Socks. Shoes. Hang on, we've actually put some really expensive things in there. That's probably... we might be able to get away with just a little bit more. Maybe a couple of robes. Yeah, I think that will do us. Let's try that. Yep, they're happy with that. Okay, Alex, you are free to go. And we'll take you out of the trade depot burrow as well. Okay. Right, did we get these two connected up? Yes, we did. I think that's all of the levers connected, so yeah, there was just those two on that side. That's all done. Need to build the bridges here. Pretty sure we did all of those and that one and that one. Just have a quick peek down here, see if these all look like they've been linked. Is the Etin still alive? Yes, it is. Yeah, it looks like we've done all of that. So let's build the bridge. That's going to go here. And we'll have it raise that way. Raise towards the west. Make that out of shell blocks. Once we've got that one in, then we can dig through. Right, now I just want to have a look and see how the dwarves are getting on with the... Like, did they mine down? No. Hang on, that's because I didn't put downstairs for them. Is it there? Yes, it is. Alright, so dig a downstair. There. So I've told them to put a set of stairs in that just go down and down and down and down. It's like, just so that we hit a cavern somewhere. I don't even mind if it's like the second or third layer of cavern. And I... Oh, what's that? Export of quivers. That's okay, we haven't sold any quivers. I was going to start getting the miners working on this, but I don't think I will. I really, really want them to focus on finding the caves. Get everybody else focused on just pulling in the rocks. Oh, and let's have a look at how... We found it! We found the cavern! Fantastic! Yes, happy music. Right, now let's see what layer cavern this is. We can tell that there's one of the trees, one of these mushrooms, tree mushrooms, that only grows in the top layer. So we go to the wiki. Yeah, I was looking at needs before. This is very good for working out. When you get an unusual one, I had someone who was suffering from a lack of introspection, and I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, how do we fix that? Setting them up as so that they reading anything fixes it. So setting them up as a scholar would fix that. But if we have a look at the caverns, and it's not the wildlife, but the vegetation. Trees. So tower caps and fungi wood both grow in level 1 or level 2, so we know that we are in level 1 or level 2. Now if we find goblin cap, spore or black cap, then or tunnel tube, then we know we're in level 2. So let's just have a look around and see what we can find here. I think this is probably level 1. It's just that it's rather deep for level 1. Yeah, I can only see level 1 trees down here. That is an astonishing amount of webs though. Okay, but level 1, we can deal with the kind of critters that we get in level 1. Hello, Tammy. Yes, good afternoon to you too. We've hit an exciting moment. We've just found the caves after an awful lot of searching. Aha. And I see a tiny little spider there. Yeah, this is ordinary cave spider silk. We found a cavern that is absolutely full of ordinary cave spider silk. Silk socks for days, everybody. Right, what I'm going to do is... Yeah, nice, isn't it? After, I mean, what, we've spent how long searching for this? I'm going to tell them to stop digging down because now that we know where it is, we can do a controlled entry into the cave. So let me just find the bottom of the staircase that I was telling them to build. And I'm going to say, just remove the designation from there to there. That should have, yeah. Okay, so it looks like we've cut through here. Every time you find the caverns, troglodytes sneak into your fort forever and get killed, and my dwarves are always so horrified at troglodyte corpses. Indeed. Yeah, time for a new dwarf wardrobe. Absolutely. Right, well, what I'm going to do to make this into a controlled entrance. Right, we do have a miner down there. I'm going to let the miner come back. I'm going to wall off this and I'm going to sink another passage down into the caves. And what we'll do is, ideally, I'll see if we go all the way up to the barracks, can we build a staircase that comes off the barracks that goes... Oh, they didn't move the goblin corpse. We've got miasma all over the place. Yeah, someone take care of that. So somewhere alongside here. Where's my cursor? Somewhere around there. It's when we break into the marble cave that we might not... Yeah. So I would have to close off an area around the marble cave, but we can always dig sideways. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Right, let's go back up here. And what I'm going to do now is to dig a second mine, and we're going to go there, and then we're going to dig down downstairs there, and then we'll have up downstairs here, all the way down. Okay, all the way down to there, and then immediately beneath that we shall have an upstairs. Oops, cursor slipped. Let's say there. So have the upstairs there, and then we'll dig, say, towards us. What we want to do is make sure that we miss the open areas that we've been digging for marble. And then we want to drop down in a convenient spot. And that actually is a reasonably convenient spot. So let's say here we want downstairs at the top level. And then we want up downstairs. Make sure I've got that in the right place. I have. down to there. Now that should go all the way through the cavern without opening it up, and then we can decide exactly where we want to go in. Probably at that level. So I'm going to drop it down to there. Alright, dwarves. This is good news. Now, where did we break into it in the first place? Because I just want to wait for that dwarf to come out. Here it is. Okay, he's out. So now what we're going to do is build a wall here. We'll build it out of blocks, because that way it can be, apart from anything else, it means that the blocks are a lot lighter to carry. Shale blocks, there you are. And because it's definitely going to have to collect something that is on this side of the wall, means that they'll stand this side of the wall to build it. Now we could floor over it, we could, we'd even put a hatch and lock a hatch down there. But because of where it's dropping in, there is a gem actually. Okay, hang on, pause, change plan. We shall cancel that and we'll build a hatch there instead. I was going to say we'll never actually want to go down this staircase, but we'll probably want to pick up that gem. So because of where we've dropped in, the staircase is in the side of a cliff. So if you to imagine that in 3 dimensions, we have at this level we were digging a staircase down through solid rock, and then we suddenly popped out and we're in the side of a cliff. So the stairs only go down part of the way, but we're not very far off the cave floor. So we could get creatures that can climb, could come and climb the wall and then get onto the staircase and enter the base. Creatures that can fly can enter the base, but even building destroyers, if they are heading up a staircase, they can't destroy a hatch that's above their head. And then what we'll have here, with the new staircase, which we'll let them get on digging, I will put some safety mechanisms in so that if we get something, I'm thinking particularly fire breathing, if we get a fire breathing monster down in the caves, that's not something that we want to be bringing up into our base. So we will, I'll have some bridges and levers and things to make sure that we can cut the caves off, but by and large I'll leave it open. If anything wanders in, it's going to wander straight into the barracks. There's nowhere else for it to go. Hello, potato. Ding dong, the potato is here. Indeed. So once we get down to this level,
No.
where to break out, because we have options here. I do tend to prefer to go either for the very bottom of the cave. So we could make this a bit of a room and have an entrance out into the cave here. We know that nothing can jump on our head. Or I prefer to, the other thing I like to do is to cut into the very top of the cave, or the highest level floor of the cave. So we could cut into here, for example, because there's cave floor just there. It would open into, we could access that slope. Or here, we could make an exit here. Either option is satisfactory. I think we'll go for the higher option. First of all, I would like to just see if we are spotting any new animals on the map. So, no, looks like just tortoises. Yeah, I think we'll go for breaking in at this level. Unless we could actually go higher, go here. About up here. Is this all open space? Aha, so this is actually... yeah, that's probably the highest cave level. So what we know about this is that it's only one high. So if we wanted to, we could make ourselves an area there that we could wall off should we need to. I'd like to make sure this is the... yeah, this is the secure way down. That's the way down that we're blocking off. So what we want to do then is to mine out of this wall here, because that's still not opening up anything to the world of the cave. We can mine out this little area here. And let's see, that there is floor of the cave.
I can't do it.
So let's go for that. We'll break out there, but I'm going to take away the walls either side. I'll put a door in just to keep sort of the small creatures from wandering up. Although I don't really know that we need to, because this is coming straight up into the barracks. Yeah, I don't think... I think what I'll do instead is I'm going to put a gate here. So that, like I say, if we get anything which we really don't want in the base, like something that breathes fire, we don't want to let inside, because that will just cause us untold problems. So if we build a bridge... bridge will be there. It will retract towards us. We'll make it out of blocks. Shale blocks. Now if we come up the staircase, yeah, I'm going to put another bridge here. Sure, that's fine just where it is. That can raise upwards to the north. We'll make that one out of shale blocks as well.
I can't do it. I just can't.
And then finally, we'll build a door here. And another bridge just here, just like we did in the other one. That can raise towards us. And that'll be out of shale blocks. Okay. So now I'm going to want 3 levers. I'll put those levers over here, I think. They'll sort of out the way. Usually I put the levers on the same level as the bridge so that if I'm watching, sometimes I watch intently to decide exactly when I want to pull the lever. In this case, it's quite possible that there won't be much traffic down there, so I want to keep these levers in the highly trafficked area, and it's unlikely that we will be pulling these levers off, and they'll almost always be left with all of the doors open. You should be doing work, but all I want to do is watch Dwarf Fortress and then play Dwarf Fortress. I'm so excited now we found the caves. That's a bit of a game changer for us, because if we have a look up here, the cave moss is spreading. All of the sand now is going to start getting covered in cave moss, and that means we can bring our animals indoors. So this is going to be my llama pen. I'm going to build a farmer's workshop. Oops, workshop. I haven't set up anybody doing shearing or milking yet, because it was just it would be sending people outside into the sunshine and the rain so much that it would really make them unhappy. So I decided against it. The first thing we'll get in is the llamas. I can set up the animal zone first. It's going to take a little bit of tweaking to get the zone right, because I want to give them as much... I didn't give them as much as I could. I want to give them as much grazing area as possible. So that means trimming a few bits off. So the wall runs along there. I think it comes along here. Definitely comes in a bit there. Must come in a bit here. There maybe? That looks like a good setup. Right, but I'm going to let the cave moss spread a little bit more before we bring the llamas in. We can use anywhere else where we've got sand to house animals. In fact, because we know we've got sand down here, it's probably time to get the dwarves digging out this area. So dig an up down stair. From here to there would be good. And then dig out all of this around, because this is likely to all be sand. It might be that put the llamas here, because we might get more browsing here. more grazing, sorry, at this level than we do upstairs in that small room. We could put the goats in the small room. That's if, yeah, I suspect that there might be an awful lot of sand here. That'd make a huge grazing area for the llamas. I'm quite happy to get the miners working on all of this now, because now they've broken into the caves, they've done the job I really, really wanted to get them to do. Let's presume we're looking at a sizable pasture. We'll get that bit dug out first. Oh, I am very pleased. So that's one of our goals met, at least. We have found the caves and we've got some stuff spreading. One of the other goals was to see if we could cheer up Goda. Let's see, she was on 16.1 stress. What are you on now, Goda? 17. So this is not going in the right direction. Now, you can practice martial arts, and you may well have been doing some of that.
I've got an idea.
Oh, disgust retching on miasma. She just happened to be in the area where the miasma was. Of course she was. Grouchiness at being in the sunshine again. Why were you doing that? Your
Dwarf has claimed a workshop.
The tofu is working on his thesis, applying for jobs, working on a presentation. Lots of things that you could be doing, but actually you're watching the stream. And wanting to play Dwarf Fortress. I understand. Oh, hang on. Did they move? Oh, that... I was surprised that they hadn't put... Yeah. So the goblin, they chopped the goblin's head off. And the head... I left the head forbidden. Where's all of the goblin stuff? Because I hadn't unforbidden the goblin stuff. In fact, why is the goblin's head on this floor? Because the goblin died on this floor. And that staircase doesn't go all the way down. Well, I am puzzled. It seems somebody hit the goblin so hard that its head managed to travel through the solid rock. This area that's got the leopard in it, I have made that into an animal training area. So what we'd need to do, we go to animals, we'll search on leopard, and we'll say, yeah, get that leopard trained. Any trainer, don't mind. Have a quick glance through all of the animals. Get a feel for what we've got. We need to be doing some eating. Right, let's go back to the leopard again. That didn't stick. Train. Any trainer. And why have you jumped away from leopard again? Well, if we kill off some of the animals, that'll make the screen a lot easier to deal with, if nothing else. Looks like Peach Ink's back on the menu, boys! Sal, did you or do you play any other roguelike games, text games, or other things in this vein? Oh gosh. Oh, 1 second. That's a lot of music. Is that the Baron? Yes. Okay, Furta has now become the Baron. Probably the most similar game that I play to Dwarf Fortress is RimWorld. But yeah, I've been playing games since games were invented. Since gaming started. So I remember playing text-based games when they were like choose your own adventure things. Have I played that? Yeah, oh yeah, I've played a lot of Oxygen Not Included. I've never actually finished a session of Oxygen Not Included. Which was... I found... I love Oxygen Not Included. The problem that I have with it is that because, you know, I tend to build big bases, fancy things, lots of contraptions and stuff. And before I actually get finished, they bring out another update, another content update that either isn't very compatible with the save that I've got, or if it had been there when I started the base, I would have built the base differently. And so I have a tendency to restart a lot with Oxygen Not Included. But yeah, play a lot of Oxygen Not Included. I do like Oni. Started playing Oni. It was in alpha, I think. It was in one of the earliest releases. I think it was the first update after it had been released on Steam. I think that was an alpha release. I'm not sure. It might have been a beta release. So sort of, yeah, I've kind of grown with Oni. I went off it when they first introduced the diseases. But then I think it was only one update later, they sort of tweaked it a little bit. And it stopped being about micromanaging your dwarves, and the diseases became, or the germs became, more of an environmental hazard. Well, at least if you don't have to restart a lot because your colonists die all the time because of a lack of oxygen, lack of food, stupid colonists trapping themselves and then running out. Well, I do get that. Yeah, I mean, stupid colonists trapping themselves in places still happens. In fact, there was one stream I was doing it, and if something stupid's going to happen, it's going to happen on stream. There is a thing, you've probably heard of it, it's called streamer blindness. And it's when you're playing and you're narrating, your mind is not 100% on the game. Your focus isn't quite as complete as it is when you're playing yourself. And so there's a tendency when something happens that's bad, you tend to miss the obvious. You're trying to think while you're narrating, I know it's not just me that does this. You have a tendency to jump to a far more complicated solution than you should do. So there was one time I was streaming and I had myself and my co-streamer Mia were characters in the game, and we were building a floor and we'd managed to get ourselves trapped underneath the floor and the oxygen was running out. And I'd sent miners, if I remember this right, I'd sent miners up to go and mine an exit for us or to deconstruct the floor or something. And it wasn't until after the stream I thought, why didn't I just tell me and Mia to deconstruct the floor so we could climb back out? There was such an easy way. Well, we both died, so I ended up sort of printing version 2.0 Sal and Mia. Yeah, things like that. The same with Dwarf Fortress as well. If I'm going to do something stupid, I'm going to do it on stream. But that's okay. I don't mind. Not so much fun in doing something stupid unless there's somebody watching you. It's one of my beliefs when we played Space Engineers a lot as a group. And when we were going through a phase... What? Oh, just sparring, okay. When we were going through a phase where it was very crashy, but it would have a tendency to crash quite spectacularly. My philosophy was always, it doesn't matter if something bad happens as long as it's spectacular and as long as it's on camera. That was about the only way I could keep my sanity. Let's see how the dwarves are doing. Yeah, look at all of that sand. Actually, there's not that much sand. Let's save them their time. Don't need you to bother over there. Just see what's here. How are we looking up here? Have we got a lot of cave moss spreading yet? A reasonable amount. You just started a new run of Dwarf Fortress yourself. Nice. Yeah, I tend to find that even if I feel like I've just watched too much Dwarf Fortress recently, if I watch somebody else play, all of a sudden it's like, I want to watch out, I want to play. I'd have done that differently, I want to play. It's
You need to build me something.
We've got an ear out there. Can someone bring that ear in? Alright, what do you want? Short swords. Excellent. Yeah, we can do that. What's the mess got to say? Exporter quivers. And by the way, do we still free of criminals? Yes, good.
It won't work.
Let's hop down here. Oh, we had someone in a fey mood. I forgot. What do you need? Metal bars? Plant cloth? Bones. That's what he needs. Bones. Lots of bones. Logs. Cut gems. Oh, we've just sold all our cut gems. Right. Well, we can sort this. Right, animals. Let's have a look at we'll butcher some of these boars. So, oh, bone and black. I was using Dwarf Therapist before for butchering the animals. At the moment, I just need to take down the quantity. I'll even need to take out some of the younger animals. We also need to sort out some cut gems. Looks like we've got some being made, actually. Maybe. Or she might just be walking through. Let's cancel the gems that we've got in there. And we'll add cut gem. Yeah, on repeat. Add. Cut gem on repeat. So I don't use DF hack and the workflows in the jewelers because I don't want them to cut the rock crystal. Rock crystal is quite a rare gem to come across, and it's the crystal that you use to make crystal glass. Now I don't know whether or not we're going to make crystal glass, but it's nice knowing that we've got the option. Okay, so that should sort out bones and cut gems. Now I was down here for a reason. That was to... Oh yeah, kill. Hang on, another distraction. Right, make plaster powder. I would like plaster of gypsum. 5 to 10 is just fine. You have rock crystals. Wow, you really get... Yeah, I know, right? I've got rock crystals, gypsum powder. More steel or more iron than I know what to do with. Tetrahedrite. All things like kimberlite. I've got 3 different colours of blue rock. Yellow rock. It's really... I've never had a map like this before. It's excellent. How many swords? I think it was 3. Did anyone spot? Make me steel short sword. Well, no harm in getting some more steel short swords because I'm going to be expanding our military soon. Just want to keep an eye on this guy. Ah, it's got bones already, so it must be the cut gems. You can see, if you hover over the workshop, you can see what he's using to make stuff out of. Okay. And I must remember to put that that artifact on display, because there's another one. Are you still... Oh no, you started. You're working furiously, probably. Yes, works furiously. Right, well, it's been more than 2 hours since I started the stream, so I'm going to take a quick break. Get myself a drink, start and stop the recording, all of that sort of thing. And then we'll be right back. I'm quite excited getting all the animals indoors. We're going to move into a different phase of the fortress now. Right, so thank you for joining me so far, keeping me company. But I'll be back shortly. Again, the typical sort of thing, somewhere between 10 minutes and 30 minutes, that sort of time scale. But I will see you in a